Hi, it is a time. Welcome. Stream. Hi. Oh, you missed the screen, huh? Yeah, me too. Welcome to the stream. Today, godot. Again. This time we want to modify the doors I made because if you remember, oh yeah, before I forgot, I'm gonna show you something. Oh no! Fuck, no! Hold on. I didn't test that, that's sad. Hold on. Yep, this is sad. Okay. I think I need a space here. So we're good to go. And for the Knicks, why is the symbol taking 2 spaces? So weird. Alright, let me repeat the game. A moment. But yeah, so I made that. It doesn't exist in Starship, so I just made it myself. Pretty simple. It's just a regex basically. It's just like a godot version and then a regex with grep. That's pretty much it. Nothing complicated, but yeah, something I needed to make. So it's made. It's just that bothers me, and I don't want it to bother me for the rest of the evening. So I'm just gonna fix that pretty quick. And when we're good to go, we can go. So before we go there, because it's interesting, time is doing that. We have something. So I think it was in the levels. It's been a while since I touched like that base. Yeah, detection tile map layer. Oh, I remember that shit. Yeah, let me tell when the door is open or closed. Dictionary containing the door for each. Yeah. The door is open or not. Overwrite the dictionary. Create signal function on closed door. What the fuck? Every time when the door is open or closed, I don't remember what I did there. That works. Look at how beautiful it is. Anyway, so this works. We want that, so we have the version of godot now that is shown. I love that. Anyway, what the fuck did I do with the doors? That's an interesting question we will have to answer pretty fast, because otherwise that would be an issue. So, so it was in levels, detection tile map layer. So, what the fuck I do? I have the functional layer and I have that. So I want detection tile map layer here. Go when the node enters the scene tree for the first time. Functional layer, so I get the functional layer. Here does work, okay. Use cell functional layer, get cells. Okay. For cells in use cells, so create detection area and functional layer add child area. So I add new children to that. To the functional layer, so what is the point of having it on the node? Why did I do that? Okay, create detection area local post vector to I. Okay, we know var area to the new, a child, create area collider. So we create a collider here, which is the collision shape 2D that needs a rectangle shape. Functional area tile set tile size as vector 2. Another size to casting windows is for making the rectangle shape. Because I tested directly in Vector 2. Yeah, I was. Wow. Okay. Collision shape 2D dot shape, rectangle shape 2D, button collision shape. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. In the context of the game, it's fine because I won't use any other type of time map that are just like rectangles. In fact, squares. But yeah. Collision shape 2D. Override to the dictionary. Oh. This is a function you can override. This is an abstract function. Overwrite the dictionary local post area. Is there a... Yeah, okay. Because then I can actually do that with the area and the local posts. Because I do... Yeah, okay. Because then I do that for every single... tile detection area. Yeah, okay. I see. So I just create an area 2D and then I get there and I get inside. And then when you click, it opens and otherwise it closes. It's not a bad idea. I'm gonna say that, but... Why do I use an, like, functional layer? I add the child to the functional layer. I'm sure that's what I do. I add the child to a functional layer. I don't need the... I don't need that. I can just do it there. I don't need it there. That doesn't make sense. So this is one of the things that I did. And you get why it's bad. Oh my god. And yeah, but I did that so I can use the time map, right? Right. Need to be sure. So the functional layer, yeah, okay. I'm gonna put that in big so I see what I'm doing. In the tile set, do I have something? I want to select the property. I'm sure I have a property. No custom data layer. That's a lie. I have a custom data. Navigation layer, terrain set, physics layer. I don't have any custom data. I don't have any custom data. Don't state open emitted. Oh yeah, no, I don't. It's just you get in and I just emit the thing. I just give the position of the door. How do I manage that? I manage it in the player, right? What the fuck did I do with my doors? I might actually redo it. Probably using this kind of the same system, but not exactly. Jesus fucking Christ, what did I do with my doors? See, when I said the logic of my doors were bad. I'm not joking. I can't even fucking remember what I did. Okay, so this is the player inputs to have can interact. Okay. So I might have something that on interact. Holy. Stall invulnerability, damage on it, to the stamina, the stamina, presses. What the fuck do I interact? Oh, hold on. Sure. Interaction, yeah. I have a state for interacting, that is why. Okay. Interaction state because it's a state machine. Door data layer. So doors layer, data layer, local position to the load codes. Okay, so I just defined the doors layer and I get it. By passing the data and then called by the state machine and the engine. Okay. Interact with close the door. And I have a function that's called interact with, which I suppose in the interaction state.gd, knowing myself. Yes, I hate object-oriented programming. Whatever. Interact with, which is the lambda callable, the input player interpret interaction. Okay, so we use that. And so I pass the closed door, which is my lambda. Oh, because how I do it. Yeah, I remember this logic. Because the logic behind is that when you run into the door, it opens it. But then you don't close it. You need to close it yourself. I dislike that. I think it should be something you do yourself. So then running as a meaning, we need a door also to test. I need 2 tiles that I can move from. Might actually do those just really fast. You know what? We're gonna do that really fast. We're gonna do a really simple one, just so we have a door, and then we can talk. We need a new file again. I want it to be, so it's 32 by 32, so the white would be 64 because I need only 2 tiles for the state. Pretty simple, it's just for me to test. I don't know background, I don't care. Can I delete? Delete. I have, yeah, it's there. I have 2 brain cells. Oh yeah, because I can't. That's my fault. Okay, so we want 32 pop show grid. So we have the two tiles, pretty simple. We want one for the door, another one for the door when it's opened. And we want then these tiles to be changed. So one will have some. Oh, what color do I have? I have that perfect. So that's gonna be the door. Yeah, I know it looks it looks terrible. It's a test set, by the way. It's not gonna be final. So pretty simple. We might want just to have the handle, so we get the idea that it's a door. Wait, we're not like that's a door on top of it. Oh yeah, that's a top view of the door. Yeah, so no, the handle should be around there if it's the top view of the door. Yeah, something like that. And then we want when the door is open, so pretty much same thing. But then if it's supposed to open like that, it should be... Okay, I think we have a problem. It won't make sense, but it's fine. Okay, we're just gonna do that. It won't make sense, but I don't care. And so I want you to be like that, basically. Can you? Okay, that's not funny. Ah, yeah, perfect. It's a something like that. I know. Don't you dare fucking judge me, I know. It's a door. Yay. Yeah, it's a door. I did it in 10 seconds, but I mean, we have a test set. I think it's important. I have something to test. Oh, good. Okay. So, fine, save as. Wow. Did you see that? Why do you see that? I'm sure I did that, but I mean, it's fine. Just, you won't see it for long. You shouldn't see that. Doors in PNG. We don't. Right. I'm gonna save as a cry document just so we can also again. And then we go back to the game development. Yeah. So I'm so sorry. Okay, we're just gonna do that first. I think we should use the same ID because I still need a box. I still need an area that you get in and then you open, and then you need to also get in and close if you want to. So get into the area and close. Oh. But then there is an issue. That's interesting, actually. If I want to make the doors, actually, you don't do it like that. No. No, you don't do it like that. In fact, it wouldn't work. Because the area will be on the door, right? But then if the area is on the door, what happens? Well, when I try to close it, I need to move the character. I need to push the character. That's one thing. But what happens is it will create just a collider, and that didn't exist at the time, that you need to remove. This is an issue. The fact that there is a collider is an issue, because then I need to actually take that into account. So, actually, I won't be using that system for these doors, because there are also the warp doors, which are really simple. It's just like you click the door and you TP to another side of the level, and then I have to do something on the camera and stuff. But these ones are simple. But what I need to do is when I put a door, I need to define the orientation of the door, and then put the yeah, I need to define the orientation of the door, and then put the two things, that the two areas that you can use to open or close the door. That also changes in real time the tile map layer. So this is not okay. So this is something that is really important if I want to do it. Let's just. Why don't I have a tile sheet? Oh yeah, because it's using the right. No, okay. Okay, I want to clear. I want to make a new tile set. That's gonna be a texture. Okay. The fuck is stacked? Okay, sure. Sure. Atlas, I want an Atlas. Shit. So yeah, because I'm an idiot, I put that there. So it's the door.png. Yes, auto create tiles. Oh, look at that. We have 2 tiles. Yay. And they look bad, but it's okay. Can I now, if I decide to go there, we have tile set whatever. So that's simplify my ass. If I want to do tile map, so tile set, we have that tile map. If I want to paint a door, I painted a door. It should not be there, but it's painted, all right. So easy. At least we have that. So no, I need to actually change how I make the layers. So it will not be a detection layer. I think it should be completely removed. It should be a layer, that's for sure. But it should not use the detection layer because it's not the same thing. It uses part of the logic, but not exactly. What I will need though is when you put the tile, I need to define. Yeah, I can do that actually. I can put 2 type of data on the tile, like custom data layer. What I need to define here is the orientation, which is horizontal or vertical, 1 or 2, and the other one will be, is it open or not? And then I don't need to actually save that to anything else. I can just say, are you opened? Then if you are opened, you are this one, otherwise you are the other one. That is supposed to be the correct orientation. I just need to find that in the tile sets. Can I modify myself, tile map layer? Can I modify the tile map layer myself? Is there a way to do that? Map to pattern, map to local, so I know that. Local to map, map to local, we know. Get pattern, get you cell, we know as well. Get you cells will be useful. Fix invalid tiles, get cell alternative tile. Update cell. Oh yeah, because you update the cell directly. Can I change the texture of the cell? Set cell atlas coordinates. Interesting. Sets the tile identifier for the cell coordinates. Set the tile identifier for the cell coordinate codes. Each tile of the tile set is identified using 3 parts. The source identifier, it identifies the tile set source identifier, see tile set source ID. Okay. The atlas coordinate identifier identifies the tile coordinate in the atlas. If the source is tile set atlas source for tile set collection scene source, it should always be okay. And the alternative tile identifier, alternative tile, identify the tile alternative in the atlas if the source is okay. Alternative tile, that's interesting. Then you can have alternative tile. If set is set the cell will be erased. An erased cell will get all its identifier automatically set to the respective invalid value, namely -1, -1, -1, and -1. Okay. Okay. The set cell might be my solution. Button was pasted. Okay, look at the map. Is cell transposed? Is cell flipped? Whatever. Get use cell, get surrounding cell, get pattern. Okay, because the timer pattern is something different, if I remember correctly, so this is not something I want. Get cell source ID. Based on the source ID of the select coordinate cores with -1, the set doesn't exist. We will be using that, that's for sure. Get set atlas coordinates, we will be using that as well, that's for sure. So yeah, we just need 4 tiles on the doors, basically. 2, that is 1 open, 1 closed for horizontal, and 2, that is 1 open, 1 closed for vertical. That's it. And then it's pretty easy because if we change the cell, it would just change also the collider, I assume. Otherwise, it would be pretty stupid. So that's something we're gonna do. So for the doors, I don't want that. So this is not something like that. So doors layer, I think. So let's just go level detection tile map. You know what? We're gonna be level doors. Doors layer, the GD. That's gonna be our friend. Yeah, okay. Because I'm a moron. Should not do it like that. Okay, and so we want class name doors layer extends tile map layer. Simple. That's the first one. I made a mistake. Class name doors layer extends map layer. Alright, that. So we want to create a new scene. The new scene that's going to be a 2D scene. We want to change the type to that to be tile map layer. We want to remove that to the doors layer. Pretty simple, pretty easy, we know. Levels, actually interactables would make more sense. But actually, I mean, it's an interactable. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do that there. Doors. That's an interactable. That's for sure. Okay, so pretty simple. We want to attach a script. So we're gonna be smart. Level doors. In interactable doors. Level doors. Okay, and now if I want to attach a script, it exists, so perfect. We have it. That's what we want. So now we want to use the same logic that we use for the tile, so level detection tile map layer that I'm gonna change after that, because by golly governor, that's all for. It's not good. I mean, it works, but it's not good. And so I'm just gonna simplify that for traps, because it's not exactly the same thing, and it's not an interactable anyway. So yeah, that would be something I put somewhere else. Okay, so we have that. I want the doors layer indestructible, and then I'm gonna change how you interact with the doors. So we want the ready. That's for sure. So we want to assert those just to be sure, because I think it's important since we're using the same. Easy. Value cells. Again, we want that, and for all cells in the area, we will want to apply those. There is no functional layer though, and this is the problem. Alright. So pretty simple, and then we have the area, so perfect. Create detection area. Same, we're gonna do the same because I think it's useful. But this time, to create a detection area, we will do something different. The local posts, what we want is depending on the position where we should put the doors and the detection for the doors. And the areas for the doors, basically. So they should be moved on the other side of the... Now the position should be at another bus, basically. So create detection areas, actually, because we want to. So we have the local posts, we have that, we want function area, create area collider, I think is okay. because it never changes. So if I need to do it, it's gonna be like that. That's for sure. And yeah, I have that I can remove. So yeah. And same. I can just do that. So it's pretty simple. I just copy-pasted stuff that I did because it's not bad. The logic is sound in my opinion. So we have the area, but we want to create two areas. Area 1, and then we want an area 2, which is an area 2d.new again. And so here, area 1 and area 2. So this, I don't want to do that. Oh yeah, I need to return 2 areas. Can I return something like that? Can I return a tuple? There is no tuple. Okay. Pretty simple. I think it's important. Can you do an add children? There is no add children. You index at 0, right? So, and we can rename those areas. Makes more sense. So for the moment, it's okay. We created the colliders. We have them. No, their position should be different. This is the moment that we change. So I want to remember how I got the type. So I think it's in the trap layers that I have that. You get the value, get cell tile data, get custom data. So it's really important. So we don't want a trap type, but we want the orientation. So functional layer. Of course, this is not completely robust, by the way. There are some problems with that. First, if, for example, I am an idiot and I decide to rotate the tile instead of using the correct orientation, it will not work. This is not foolproof, by the way. This is the thing. I can't do it foolproof if I want it to be simple by just stamping the doors one by one. So they need to be thought out. If it's not thought out, it's gonna be an issue. Orientation. So it's an int, but I want to call that orientation. We don't need anything. We just want it to be an enum orientation, which will be horizontal, or vertical. Okay. So is that how you do an enum? I always forgot. This is exactly how you do an enum. Totally am I good at. So we have the orientation, that's cool. We also will want to... No, I think it's okay. I think if I just have that, then I can just change. So basically, having a signal that just does something here. Yeah, just signaling the layers. I think it's useful. Signal interact with door, and we want the local pose of the door, which is vector. Okay, so we want... Oh yeah, no, I don't need that actually. I don't need it. That's perfect because I already have the area. So if you go there and then you interact with those, it does something. So I don't need that. That's perfect. What do we want though? We want to create a new tile set. We want to load something really simple, whatever. Yeah, I don't want that. It will be in the time map, whatever. Yeah, it needs to be a 32 by 32, that's for sure. Custom data layer, we want... That's an int. That's an int. The name will be orientation. And we want to know if it's open. Because we can just keep that. But these are the two things we want. So, pretty easy. Open the orientation, so depending on what it is, we just update it. So now we get the orientation, we have that, we're happy, it exists, we get the custom orientation, that's cool. But that's pretty important, and then we don't need if it's open or not, we don't care. That's for sure. It can be open, it can be not open, that's not an issue for us. So now the area global position will be mapped to local. So we need plus and minus, I think. And so the easiest way for that would be... Yeah. Area 1 local post, which is gonna be just the local post. Oh, if orientation equal orientation dot horizontal, then we have something else. We have that, right? Do we have a then? No. How do you do the default if then else? Yeah, I don't remember how you do the ternaries in godot. Ternaries, godot, shit is... I always forgot. Value if condition else, yeah, that's how it is. So if you are there, it's local post plus vector to I that we know and we love. One should be, so if you're horizontal, one should be, so it's on X, so plus that. If horizontal, else it should be local post plus vector to I 0, 1, just pretty simple, I think. Doesn't change anything. Yeah, I need to do a var here, and I need to do it like that, so always the same. And same horizontal, so you will be this one. No, okay. You will be this one, that's for sure. And then you will be this one. And then we want two of this one. And now it's pretty simple because the area 1 global position will be area 1 global position. And then we can just select 1, 2, and now done. Easy. So now we create our friends. And we get the rotation by that. And we create the area collider. What we would want to do though now is actually how did I do that for the doors layer? So doors layer, create signal function, so var on area body entered, that's what I did. Overwrite the detection area, and so I did area body entered connect. And so I did that. So this is interesting because now we can actually use that because we need the function that is our friend here. So create signal function that I'm gonna shamelessly store, that's for sure. But it's gonna be a bit different, I think, knowing myself, because there is no door state. We're not keeping the state like that. We don't really care about a state. What we do is we change the tile. That's it. So there is no question, you just rechange the tile. So whatever. So first we're gonna do it without changing the tile, so we're just gonna print whatever. Player can interact, image self, interaction door state, so yeah. We want the door state, which is easy because we have the local post of the thing. But if you create the signal function, it should be for... So yeah. Door local post area, because it should make more sense to me. And so var player body from player return, so we do nothing. We don't care about the door states. What we want is we want to get, is it open or not, because I can actually save that. So var opened, which is a pool, and we want it to be opened. And I know it's not local post, it's store local post. Okay, store local post here. So yeah. Player can interact emit. So self interaction, we want to have door state opened. When I am here, what is the door state? It's just a boolean, so that's perfect. I don't need to do anything. And so I have the local position, which is the door local position that I'm using, but I don't know why I give it, but it exists apparently, so I'm gonna give it again. I'll fix that if I realize it's bad. But yeah. Oh yeah. And then I need a signal. I need a signal. So then the player interacts and does the thing. I'm just telling you if you can interact. Yeah. Forgot about that. Let's rename that. Create signal or signal interact. Signal interact function, and we're gonna do that by saying it's private. You don't do that. Same doesn't mean anything in GDScript, by the way. There is no privacy in GDScript, just like with Microsoft. Sorry. Okay, we need though for both. We would like the areas. Yeah, I mean, I don't care. Var lambda is our lambda that we know we love. Signal. Okay, so signal interact function. That's gonna be the cell. Do I need the area? Parameter area is never used. Yeah. Of course, I don't use it, so that's perfect. Area 0 dot body entered connect lambda. And we'll do the same for this one. So we have everything. It's connected. Perfect. And now, okay, so we have that. We create one. Why do I do that? Because I don't want to create two references to the same function. Doesn't seem necessary to me. Can just leave in the stack of the function. I don't see the point. One. Funny. Sorry. And so, now that we have that, surely I don't see the issue. I think it works. We have everything. We have the interaction type door that we want to do. We know if it's opened or not because we know by virtue of the fact that we have the door local pause, which is great, I think. And as long as you can interact, then you just have the thing. So we want a signal before the enum, I think. Signal interact with door. Really simple, but we know that. So interact with door, and we want the door local pause. Door local pause, which will be a vector y. And so we have the signal, and I know the signal is not used. Shut the fuck up, because I'm gonna do it for you. I can do interact with door, connect, handle, so on, interact door. Okay. Oh. Yes. I love this song. There's no static return type. Oh, that's true. And that is true. And so this is where the magic will actually happen. How should I put that? Now we get if it's open or not, and then we do something depending on if it's open or not. So if opened, then we do something else, we do other things. So I'm just gonna pass for the moment. I know it's not really useful, but it gives you an idea. And now that's where the fun begins. Because now I need to define a lot of things so we can actually change the map. The cell, sorry, change the cell. So set cell, the coordinate, the source ID, so get cell source ID, the source identifier. So we have the coordinates, so pretty simple. We want to do set cell, we are the door local pause, which is what we want. Get source ID, get cell source ID with the coordinates, which is the door local pause again. So we love it, we know it. That's the first one. Atlas coordinates, which is the Atlas coordinate identifier, a tile coordinate in the Atlas is the tile set Atlas source. For tile set collection, it should always be Victor 00. The alternative tile identifier. The source is the tile set Atlas source. Each tile in the game must be exposed to your create tile. Okay. So then I will need to know the position of the tile on the Atlas. So I need the Atlas code, which is not complicated. Yeah. Because I need 4 coordinates. I need the 2 for the horizontal when it's open or closed, and 2 for the vertical when it's when it's opened or closed. It's set the tile identifier of the cycle, and each tile of the set is identified using 3. Identify the tile set source identifier, see tile set cell source ID, the source identifier. The Atlas coordinate identifier, the tile coordinate in the Atlas with the source of the tile set Atlas source. For tile set since collection source should always be okay. Hold on. I'm not sure I understand what that means. So, tile set is identified in 3 parts. Okay, set the tile identifier for the sale. Okay, so you set the tile identifier for the sale. I change directly the cell using that. Erase cell, update cells, that's something you should not use. Get cell society, return the society of the cell coordinates. And then with minus minus doesn't exist, okay. Get cell time data. We know and we love. Oh. Oh! Oh! Interesting. I didn't do that. Oh my. That's useful. Cell neighbor icon. Oh my. Oh my. That's useful. Get neighboring cell. So if the cell exists, if it's not minus one minus one, I can actually do that for the door. Oh, this is cool. Instead of doing my shits, I might actually be using that. Okay. So, okay. Get neighbor with orientation. So we want the local boss vector to right. We're gonna do that first before I forgot. Then we want the orientation, which is gonna be orientation. Okay, and what we want to return is a vector to I. So it's the position basically. An array of vector to I think. Array of vector to I. I wish there was a tuple, but tuple GDScript. I don't think that exists. Tuples in GDScript. Yeah. Whatever. So we're just gonna do an array. That's a bit sad, but whatever. I prefer the tuples because the tuples are first fixed size in memory, which is usually better, and also well, I have the guarantee that there is only like a certain number of items inside that, and always the same number of items. Otherwise, it's not a tuple. But yeah, I can't have that here, so whatever. That's why I prefer tuples, but you know, we do what we can with what we have. That's for sure. So, if orientation equals orientation.horizontal, then we want to return 2, which is get neighbor cell of local boss, and we want to know the position, so cell neighbor okay. How do you access that shit? I'm gonna lose my my shit, but yeah, oh, it's in the tile set. Tile set, cell neighbor, bottom. Okay, do you have that cell? Okay, so it's in tile set, I suppose. Tile set, yeah, perfect. So I have it there. Cell neighbor. Okay, right side, on the right side, or on the left side. So cell neighbor, right side. And I will want a get neighbor cell of local boss, and then tile set dot cell neighbor left side. Else we want to do the same thing pretty much, but we want to get the top side, I suppose, top side. And bottom side. Also, I didn't see it's a bottom. Yeah, I have bottom for some reason, but yeah. This is an issue. It shouldn't be bottom. You sell neighbor right, left, bottom, top. So though doesn't change anything, I think. Yeah. So room var neighbors, which is gonna be get neighbor orientation with orientation. So we want local posts and orientation, that's for sure. And then we want neighbors 0, and then we want a neighbors 1. Easily. Doesn't change a lot, but it's way more robust than what you're supposed to have. So I think it's better. And that's what I think. It's robust, so it makes more sense to me to have that. So on interact with door, we have that. So set cell, get cell society. Do I want to do that with get cell? That's usually my problem. So we have that get neighbor cell, okay, so that's cool. Get use cell by ID, get use rect as body or ID, is cell flipped, whatever, is cell transposed, local to map pattern. Okay. GD script change tile of tile map layer. Change the tiles in the timer player. I'm gonna use that, it's easier. Set cell. You will need to check the index of the die set source is present. So set cell layer ID, cell available cell ID. Oh yeah, but you use the time map in the timer player. Okay, so I'm fucked. Basically, I need to do that. So set cell, which is the atlas coordinates identifier, identifies the tile coordinate in the atlas if the source is okay. Set cell, so I think that's the thing. Like, but source ID tile set source. Expose a set of tiles for a tile set resource. Get tile ID index. Returns the number of alternative type for a coordinate ID atlas codes. Oh. So you don't do get self source ID, you actually need the ID to do it. And I also need the orientation, by the way. Just realized, but without the orientation, my thing doesn't work. Because it needs to do, it's a matrix, basically. Because it's a matrix. When I set the cell, depends on the orientation. So now, I need to find the orientation, and then if it's open, so I need to define the source ID that I want. Get tile ID, which is the coordinates ID of the tile with the index. Get tile count, get alternative tile ID of the index. Okay, tile set resource. Explore a set of tiles for a tile set resource. Tiles in the resource are connected with two ID coordinates ID of type vector 2 and an alternative ID of type name according to the use in the tile set atlas source class. Depending on the tile set source type, those IDs might have restriction on the values. This is why the base tile set source class only exposes getters from them. You can iterate over all tiles exposed by the tile set source or first iterating over the coordinates. Tile source can only be added to the set at the same time. Calling tile set add source on the second tile set will remove the source from the first one. Okay. Makes sense to me. So if I decide to... So it's a tile source, okay. Let's say I add that. Yes. So, okay, if I have that, this one is one ID, this one is the other one. So select atlas coordinates, size, okay. But this is the ID of the atlas. So, getting the tile ID Okay, so imagine it's a tileset atlas source. I can get, okay, get tile data. Can I get the tile? Or maybe I don't need to. Source ID, the source ID, tileset source identifier. See tileset set source ID. So maybe what I need to do is I just need for the source ID, I just need the tileset ID. Do I have something that's called tileset here? Get source ID. Okay, how do I give tileset again? Tileset, tile size, okay. Get source ID. Returns the source ID for the source with index parameter index. Okay. But then if I just do the tile set source ID, like just the tile source ID, so get cell source ID, I think I can be okay with that. Because then I just need the atlas coordinates. Identify the tile in alternative source. Okay, so I don't care about the alternative tile, but what I need is the atlas coordinates. So what I want is I would want 4 for the atlas coordinates that so 4 exported member. So export var horizontal door open atlas coordinates. You know what we're gonna do differently? We're gonna export a dictionary here. I didn't export dictionary at some point, if I remember correctly. So dictionary, I don't remember how I exported it. That's my problem. So I need to go back. Not in state machine, that's for sure. But I need to remember how I export. Yeah, exactly. I exported it there. That's perfect. Because then we want to have the position in the atlas coordinates. So now property in dictionary type, saving manager some type. So no, we will want bool. Oh, doesn't change anything. Can be orientation and bool. Or do you have something because it's in the hearing manager? So I need to define it, right? Yeah, okay. So it should be door is layer dot orientation bool, and so orientation and bool. So all that would have to go. Oh, but no, actually, no. This is an issue because now. No, okay. I need. Okay, I know. I need a string name, I think. And then what I want is I want a vector to I. Why? Because the problem is I need to know open the horizontal, close the horizontal, open vertical, close vertical. So we'll do that. So opened horizontal, and we want the position, so it's going to be a vector to I on the thing. So in that case 0 0, I don't care. Then we might want open vertical, same. That's going to be same. I think it's okay. In fact, putting it -1, so we have that, and then we want the opened to be okay, and then we want the opened to be okay. Perfect. And so not volume by type, that's for sure. We want that to be Atlas chords for style for state. Atlas chords for state. And so a dictionary containing the type of action, so containing the dictionary, the keys correspond to a certain state or door. The value is the atlas coordinates of the corresponding style. So now what we want is we want first the function here, which is parse door state to atlas codes. That's what we want. So we want the opened and we want the orientation, which is in fact I would just keep the local post and then do it myself. Local post vector to I and then we return vector to I as well. Yeah, but it's like that's not. It's not like in TypeScript. So we want that. All right. Not of course, but yeah, I know. And now we want to know. So if opened and orientation equals orientation dot horizontal, then do something else. I mean, can I just match? Can I do a match? A big match? I remember you could do a match with like when and stuff. It was great. Let me remember. I remember there was like a match. It was so great. I did a big match at some point. Knowing myself. var x when, yeah, that's all I did. Okay, so match open, match whatever. So it's exactly there. So var x when x equals my ass. So I can match on the orientation, match orientation. I'm sorry. I forgot. I'm getting old. Var x when x equal or okay. So we just var and then we capture on the var. So var x when x equal orientation horizontal and opened, we have something. Then we do the same but for closed, and then we'll do the same for the rest. So again, can I have a pass just so you stop being naggy? Oh, thank you. Okay. So, and not open. I'm sure you can say not opened. So let's just keep it horizontal. Horizontal. And same here and not opened. And so here we want the horizontal to be vertical. Alright. What's the point? Door local post, yeah. Done. And so now that we have that, so we want to return a string name again, which should not be modified, which is open the horizontal. I'm just gonna do that just so it's easier. Okay. Alright, so I have thing. Oh, ooh, that was bad. Okay. Perfect. Open horizontal, so we return that. Oh yeah. No, we don't return that because we passed already. So we have so we want var name or key, pretty simple, which is a string name, and we want it to be null for the moment, or maybe use going like that. No. So now we want the key, which is that, and then we want the yeah, same, but this time we want it to be closed horizontal. I think I made a mistake because it's open vertical this one, so this one is okay. This one should be closed. Close vertical. So open horizontal is okay. Yeah. I don't know what you're doing to tell me, but okay. Closed horizontal. What's the problem again? Huh? Oh. My bad. Okay, that's interesting. So I can just do it like that. And then if key. We return his name, Atlas for chord. Okay. So Atlas for chord state key. Otherwise, we return a vector to I of -1 or -1, which is an issue, but you know, we don't need those. We don't need those. Then I'm just gonna do an assert. So if you did something wrong, it's just gonna crash. I think it's fair. So we want Atlas chords. For that, we're just gonna use the bars toasted to Atlas chord, which is auto compose, pass, and then Atlas chord. We're just gonna do an assert before assert Atlas chords not vector to I -1 because that would be a problem. Invalid Atlas chords when changing the door state. Make a mistake in the dictionary. Alright, easy. So that's cool because now I have this that also tells me if I made a mistake. And yes, it's -1, so means you didn't fill the dictionary, so you need to fill it. That's the point. Normally, if I go there, dictionary, perfect. Open vertical, close horizontal, close vertical. Perfect. That's what we want. So now we want the Atlas coordinates. That's for sure. So my thing is not good, but we can change that. I need to get that, that's for sure. I put that in the levels, no, not doors, in interactable doors. So might be in levels I set. Just waiting for a moment. So this is my shit. Not direct, like, you know, that's. I'm not talking about that. Thank God. So 64 by 64. Okay. 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 Up. So first, let's just be smart about it. So this is just a test door, by the way. That's not gonna be the end. Because yeah, of course it will not be the end. Thank God. Otherwise, that would be a clear issue. So yeah, can I move that? Yeah, I have that. So perfect, because I can just do it like that. Easy. So this is the one like that, and then I want to copy that. Up. And then I want to move it there. And then I want to change the orientation for both of those. So this one should be oriented, not there. I mean, can I just change the orientation directly? Just something like that. Yeah, if I do it like that, it's okay. But then I'd like... Yeah. Let's just do that. And then what I like is this to be moved. So then I can select that and I can move it like that. And now plonk plonk, which is weird because yeah, I mean it's fine. Honestly, it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. Let's just save and then export as a PNG file. I want to replace it. Yes, I want to replace it. So, okay, now that we have that, normally, okay. Perfect. Updated, easy, what we want. So now we have our doors. Pretty simple. If I select, I know the atlas coordinates, as you can see. So I can actually define those. This is pretty much the point. This is why I did all of that. Because now I know the atlas coordinates, so I can change the door if I want to. And this is the point. This is the entire point. So yeah, I also need to change, because I also need to add a physics layer, that's for sure. That collides with everything, I suppose, so I think all of this collision mask makes sense. I don't remember which collision masks I have, so I'm just gonna put all of those. I'll change those, it's fine, it takes 10 seconds to change. It's okay, we want the orientation the opened state, which is useful, because then we can actually change that. So this style, atlas coordinate and the size in atlas, which is 1, 1. When you have a door, we should be painting the physics layer. So for these ones and for these ones which are closed. The point is that these two are closed. For the opened, we want to say that this one and this one are opened. And for the orientation, we want to say that, okay, and this is when it's actually annoying, because I'm not exactly sure. So this is 0, this is 1. So these two at the top are horizontal, and these two would be 1. Seems okay to me. So now we're okay. Physics layer is just because I need a wall, so you know, and they will be, the areas will be positioned outside of the door, of course. So if you're in the door, you can do it, basically. Yeah, I think it's okay. We have the orientation, we have that, that, and that. I know it doesn't look great, but it helps in a way. So now, when I want to select the atlas, so this is horizontal closed. Horizontal closed, which would be 0, 0. This is horizontal opened, so which is 1, 0. This is a vertical closed, which is 0, 1. And this one, which is 1, 1. So, okay. That's also useful. Use now. Now, if I go back to the 2D, we have a layer. I can now go into the tile map and I can paint those. So it's closed, okay? We have the info. Of course, the tile set will not look like that. It's just a test. But then, when you open it, it's supposed to just change the tile. No animation, I know. So I will need to then apply the animations, but for the moment it's a bit better than what we did before, which was pretty disgusting, we're gonna be honest with you. So yeah, I can do that. But it's actually a bit better, because now... Sprite frames... Did I do something different? I don't know. This is useful, though this is what we want. And the doors, but whatever. Gonna keep them. And the detection layer, that I did something with that. I don't remember why, but I did something with that, so yeah. Okay. But now that we have the interaction, those layers. No, it's not the levels. Interactables. Doors layer. So now, when on interact with doors, so you need to connect with that. So you need to signal the layer, the interact with door, and giving the position. This is what we want to do. So interaction door.jd and interact with closed door. Okay, because I need to, the function called to close the currently. Okay, finish them with none. Okay. None? Oh yeah, you can't. That's the state, none. Yeah. Close door. No. Because the doors layer, if I do that, then there is no closed door. There is an interact with door. Emit local pose, which is the pose of the door. So those layer data layer that I pass when we go into these states. Which means interaction state. Those layer. I think that's how I do it. The worst part will be actually animating the door, because I put that as a layer, as a tile map layer, but maybe just animating the transition will be an issue with that system, and I might change it later again. And that's the fun, I suppose. On can interact. Yeah, because I give the layer, right? So without the interact signal interact function, I pass self. So me. Interaction state, opened, and local position, door, okay. You didn't pass a door layer for the door interaction, this should never fail. Yes, it should not, but if there is an issue, it should not fail. So finish them with door, layer, local post, okay. That is perfect, that's what we want, I guess, for the interaction type door. So I'm okay with that. Normally I fixed everything. Now we can try. I want to set up the debug editor just for a moment because I want to see the collision shape. And you're gonna tell me, but why, Virgil? Why would you want to see the collision shape? Well, because I didn't test my shit, so I want to be sure that when I put the doors, I actually have doors. You know what I mean? So this, I actually be able to interact with the doors. That would be cool. So we add a child node. That's gonna be a doors layer. Okay, so this is my layer. The layer should be furniture below entities, traps layer. Sure. Yeah, I'm just gonna do there. Okay. Okay. Oh. That's annoying. Can I, okay, I delete. Can I import a door layer again? Like a chain node, doors layer, telmap layer, okay. Doors layer does this one. But then I have a tile set. Row. I have a tile set, it's defined there. What are you on about? Oh, maybe I need to instantiate it? Instantiate door layers, so interactable doors. Yeah, makes more sense. And now I have everything. I have a tile set. So now, this is the closed door. It means these two doors serve as closed. Yeah, by the way, as you can probably tell, you can flip them. That wouldn't be an issue. But yeah. So these are two doors. They don't serve. So one thing is that they don't have occlusion, by the way. Something that I could put. I'm gonna actually do that. Because no occlusion is bad, I think. Me think we need some occlusion, just to be sure. So physics layer, terrain set, rendering, occlusion layers, add. I think you need an occlusion layer. Makes sense. And so if I want to paint an occlusion layer, yeah. So easy. Okay. So now if I go into the level, if they occlude the light, which is, you know, something you'd like to see. But then this wall should also occlude the light. So it's not perfect, but you get the idea. In fact, I'm gonna do it like that because I have some problems, alright, but okay, these ones, and then for this one it should be like that. So the occlusion is behind the door, so you see the door. The only thing I need is that you can actually see the door. So now if I go there, you see the doors, which is better. So now we start the game. We do a new game. Okay, that did nothing. Did I see a debugger message? Nothing. So this is interesting. I connect with the door. I ask it to modify, but it does not. So why? When I interact with the door, what happens? I think there's something I changed. I get the local post of the door, the local position of the door on its layer. So I have it by default. Data local post and data layer. So doors layer, interact with door, emit. And we have that here, which is the interact with door. And we connect it on interact with door, passing that, and then we get the atlas coordinates. We're supposed to set cell. So let's just print the atlas coordinates. That's really important. It passes the assertion, by the way. So nobody's supposed to work. Okay, new game. Oh wow. I actually never get into a state where I can actually come back, boy. Okay, so I never get to a state where I can even interact with it. That's interesting. Signal interact function, so I give that. Gets in there. Get custom data opened. Door local post because it's the same for both. So it's on body entered, right? Body entered. Okay. Doors layer. Can interact emit. Body entered connect. Create function. Local boss area. But I never use the area, but whatever. Do I ever use it? Do I ever use the node? I don't. Oh. Open the mid. Oh. Open the mid true node. Yeah, okay, I did that, but I don't care. Okay. Huh. So, do we get inside this function? That's the first thing we're gonna try. Do we get inside this function? Do we actually get a position? Do we get something? So print, there's like printf inside the function, and we want to print the opened, so we have the info. First thing, I think that's important. New game, and let's do it again. I'm inside, I can interact. So normally I gave the ID that you can interact, that's for sure. And so player can interact mid, self interaction, state interaction type, or opened, if it's opened or not. Local position, do I even use that if it's open or not? Because I don't think I even do it. I don't think I do, so I just say interact with the door. I don't need to know if it's opened or not. Player can interact, on can interact. Interesting. How did I define the player? Okay. The player, I suppose. No, type. Is interaction possible? This is why. Is the interaction possible? It should always be possible. That's why I did that. But then, why would I do a is interaction possible? That doesn't make sense. Oh, my interaction logic is fucked up. But yeah, it should always be true in that case. You can interact. This is why I don't need to know if it's open or not. I just need, like, yes, you can interact with that. The open is not your problem. You don't need it here. So, normally, the interaction will be possible now. Why did I do it like that? I'm sure there is a reason. What the fuck? What? Hearing manager. What did I modify? What did I modify? Interesting then. Invalid access to a property or key global position on the base object of type previously freed. So I'm accessing something that has already been freed. Hearing manager, sound emit global position, hearing manager. Because my velocity is not 0. Receive sound emits. Can I make a modification in that shit? Okay. Why? Why do I have this? What's the problem? Received sound emit. You received the sound emit. What's the problem? Previously free. Bro. Oh, we're having some fun. Because the sub has been freed. My subscriber has been freed. There is no monster? My monster is a subscriber, normally. What? Ooh, that's gonna be fun. So it's in the hearing manager, right? Managers. Globals, managers, hearing managers. And it's in the sub.global position here that you don't get. Print sub. I don't see why you would have an issue. Okay, and I have an output freed object already. So that is a freed object. What's stopping? Okay. What the fuck? What is the thing? Because it's effectively freed objects. What the fuck? Okay. But then in my subscribers, when do we get subscribers? Bus pushback buddy. Okay. Sure. Print. Subscribers. First monster. Freed object, first monster. There is a freed object here. But then this... Why is there a freed object? And that's the first time it does that. Because then if I move, of course, it's gonna do something on a freed object that doesn't exist. Oh, so I need to... Damn. So then, if not sub, so if sub, we do something, otherwise we do nothing. I need to do that now? I need to check that as well? That's gonna be the fun part? No, because even if it's fucking free, you actually tell me it exists. Oh, maybe because... okay. Now I know why. Yeah. Okay, that's my sense. My bad. Okay, but he's still not doing anything. Cannot convert argument mode from object to object. Because it got removed. Oh, I know why. Oh. Oh. Okay, I understand why this error exists. I need to flush. Oh, fuck. I need to flush the subscribers when we go to another... oh my god. I need to... Okay, I get... okay, I understand what that is. Okay, I'm gonna explain why. You get it as well. When I click there, what happens is I run the current scene. So for a brief instant, I generate this. You all follow me on that moment, sure. But the thing is, when I do that, there is something that's called the scene manager. And my scene manager is really funny, but it has some unforeseen consequences, which is really annoying. My scene manager just moves to another scene, and it's the thing I use to switch scenes over and over again. You call the manager, you move to the scene programmatically. That's the point. And I can just have a dictionary, a JSON document containing all of the scenes. And it's supposed to be a scene flow file. The provided scene flow file. So yeah, that's a scene flow. That's how I do it. So for example, it flows like that. It's pretty linear, but you go for main, then you go for level 1, etc, etc, etc. That's pretty simple. It could be a graph. In my case, it's not. It's just a number of steps because it will not change. So yeah, but there is an issue. When I go to a scene, I need to empty some stuff. And one thing I need to do is flash the airing manager. So what happens is if I try that, it starts the scene, then move back to the other one without flushing the subscriber counts, and then it breaks. My question is, Can I have a signal directly in the hearing manager to do that? On scene change. Is there a possibility for me to do that? Godot on scene change. Signal for scene change, yeah. Another persist existing alongside your game. If so, you want to logic one of the main scene changing, then affect the instant current listener is able to communicate the behavior. You do have a few options. Not added. No. Add check. No, okay. Tree entered. Tree entered, okay. It's a not 2D, I can tell. You know what? It's easy, I can just get not 2D and then see the signals I have and go up from there. I suppose node as a signal, right? Methods. Signals, okay, perfect. Do you have signals? You don't, but you have. That means when the node enters the tree, the internet is emitted after notification enters tree notification, tree exited, tree exiting. So tree exited, so I need to do that. So tree exited, connect, flush, subscriber, or maybe tree entered. Not gonna change anything. Just same. Tree entered, and so I need a flush subscriber just for that. So funk flush subscribers. In my opinion, it's better to call it like that. Then okay, flush subscribers. It's gonna do nothing. It's gonna do not nothing, but it's gonna do subscribers. Easy. So pretty simple. We just flush it. We empty it. So yeah, that's it, right? Subscribers are already not 2D, so we just flush it. Pretty simple. And now, normally I fix that. If I run from there, and then I do a new game, fuck my life. Okay. Because it's always in the tree, so it doesn't work. Scene root scene changed. Godot. Eight years ago. That's not what I want. Changing scene manually. Get tree root. But if I do get tree, it gives me the tree, right? And then I can get the root of the tree. Can I know when the root changed? Because what I do, right? When I do scene manager, or what I can do is emit directly from there. So then you subscribe to it, whatever, and you do it. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So signal scene changed. Pretty simple. Really scene change. Yeah, I don't care. You do whatever. How do you do that again? Warning ignore. And you signal. Okay. Perfect. Scene changed. And so now go to scene by ID, if error.ok current scene, and so we want scene change.emit. Just so now, just AD chain, it emitted. So now, in the reviewing manager, what I want is I want to do scene manager dot scene changed connect. Yeah. And now, normally, if I do it again, yeah, it's flushed. It works. We still can't open the fucking door, but at least this is fixed. This is great. This is what we wanted. I'm happy with that already. But this is important. I'm happy I did that because now if you have anything to modify, you can just do it. We just emit that and it's clear. Perfect. So yeah. So okay. But then it interact with door, emit local post. This is where it actually seems to not work. So on interact with door. And so we connect with interact with door. I mean, I could just do it like that, honestly. When we go to that, history, node, interact with door, on interact with door. Normally there is no change here on interact with door, so that works. We want the warning ignores. So warning ignore unused signal. Right. Again. And now fun part, huh? So at least now it works, it does the stuff. So okay. Now I have 2 errors in debugger. The scenario interact with those declare button. Or yeah, normally you won't be annoying because I can just do that. And so there is only one error, which is the build step final edge that I can't do nothing about, and then that. But then the door doesn't open, that's for sure. So why? Because my logic doesn't work, I suppose. So print Atlas coords. Normally, so let's go into the doors layer just to be sure we want that. Normally it's the open horizontal that we want. Right? Atlas coordinate 0, 0 because it's closed horizontal. So that's the coordinate we want, 1, 0. So normally, oh yeah. Oh. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, it won't work. Yeah, because I need to do the invert of yeah. I need to do the invert of that. If it's opened, then you want it to be closed. And if it's not opened, you want it to be opened. Same. Yeah. My logic would have not worked because I'm just changing the tile to itself. I don't even need to test. I don't even need to test. I mean, I don't even need to print. Okay. Fact that you can't interact multiple times is annoying. That's for sure. Because you should be able to stay in the same thing. So I should not leave. Like, but this is the problem in the player, I think. So yeah. But though it works, as you can see, it even does the light because we removed the occluder, so it's great. As you can see, it's perfect. Not what we want. That's exactly what I wanted it to be. But in the interaction, when I emit, I finished. And this is an issue. You should not finish. In fact, what I should be able to is when we exit, we finish. So we should be able to do that in the player directly or in the player state. So interaction state, I'm sure there is a way to do it. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, I know. Okay, I remember why. Because on can interact, is interaction possible, and then we move to finish. This is why. So there is no finish here. We just do that. We stay in the same thing, and then we need a new function, signal interact function, and function signal not interact function. Don't care. I think that's not callable. So same. We want the same ID, but a bit different because var on area body exited. And then we don't want the local position, we just say false. Never to be seen again. And so now we can actually use that. Because when we create the area, so we have... So it's there, I think. Lambda, so entered lambda. And so exited lambda, which is gonna be the same, which is signal not interact function, easy. And now we are pretty entered, and we want to change entered to exited, and now that works. And then we can spam. So now, as you can see, I can spam. And now... Okay, so this should not happen. I am an expert. I can actually open doors from really, really far away. Yeah, that should not happen. Normally, when I do body exited, you're supposed to accept that, but I think it's... Oh yeah, I know why. I know why. I can't. Yeah, because the area were not regenerated again, so that makes sense. So, perfect. Perfect. This is just perfect. We have everything. It's actually more robust than before, and it works. And as you can see, ooh. Woo, 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 woo. And then yeah, and then we have the boy. Look at the boy. And I can close the door. The only issue is that the wall is visible. So you see through the walls. But then it's in my occluder. The problem is in my occluder, is the way I will actually do the thing. The problem is the occluder. Because now... Yeah. So I will need to actually think of other ways to make the doors. Because I think, okay, how do I do that? That's annoying. I might need... Nah, because then it should be removed if the door is open. So I might need to actually know if there is... Yeah, because I can't occlude the light on the wall, because you need to see the wall. But I want to occlude the lights behind the wall, and it should change on which position you are in. And since you can be on both, you know. Okay, also this is... Yeah. This is an issue because now I do that, I should be moved to another... Oh. What? Hey, that should not happen. Interesting to test, but like, that should not happen. You're supposed to... What? Like... So why the fuck is my... Oh yeah. Yeah. No, Why is my editor so slow? Did I do something? I don't... Yeah. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do again. Doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. Yeah, it's still fucking slow. Why? Why is my thing so slow? Why? That doesn't make sense. That absolutely does not make sense. Scene manager, manager. This should be removed. That set should be added. I can keep that. It's a fine. It's a fine. Interaction state. It's okay. So I want that to be removed, and I would like to remove, since I think about it, detection timer player, doors, virtual, not the other one. Okay, because now we are better than what we did. Makes more sense. Yeah. So now sharing manager on scene chain. But then why the fuck are you so slow? I don't get it. Maybe... Is it because I made an issue? Did I make an oopsie? Did I make an oopsie in my module shell prompt? So I have custom godot here. Let's just do that. Let's just do a rebuild home. Maybe it's actually doing something. I don't get why it takes so long for it to do something like that. Like, see the time it takes to actually get back my prompt? And I don't have anything on the side of OBS, so clearly the problem is in the prompt. So it's not just because my computer is old, but though it's not old. But yeah. Oh, it's because I was running the game. Well, I mean, it's still slow. It should not be that slow. But sure. Yeah, should not be that slow. Because I was running the game. Oh my god. Yeah, doing game development on the computer will be an issue in the future. That's fine. It will force me to actually set up. Hold on. Yeah, sorry. It will force me to actually set up the other computer for that. That's fine. Pause, no state to at last. So yeah, still we have an issue because now, normally when you leave, normally. I'm surprised that it's still doing it. Apparently, this is something by default. Now, I'm surprised, but okay. I'm supposed to remove that, but apparently it's okay, it works, so okay, sure. Did it because I didn't know? I don't know why. I don't know why, but fine. Sure. She decided to do it, I guess. So, yeah, interactable doors, okay. But now, still, whatever. Problem is body exited, so yeah, when you exit the body, normally you're supposed to do the exit lambda again. So you're supposed to change your interaction stop. The player can interact emit. Hint. We left the interaction range. Let's try that just for a moment. Okay. Oh, I know why. Because okay. Normal, you can't save those. I don't care. A game. I left. But you're not giving the thing. Oh. Because the order. Because of the order. This is why. Because when I do that. Because when I do that. Oh, that's an interesting. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. It means when I do that, I didn't account for that shit. Okay, that's interesting. If they're close to each other. The issue is the order in which they actually change makes it hard. Okay. Okay. Since it's not deterministic because it's not on the same thread, or I suppose it's just an async options in an async modification, then we get into that state where I'm leaving technically, but I'm entering first. I already entered. I'm sure that's what happens because I'm in the middle of both. So I already entered, and then it should, yeah. Let me try that. I'm sure that's what it did, because if I go there, I'm inside. And I'm in the other one now. And now I left. See? This works. But then, if I do that, I left the interaction range. So I'm not into the state of being able to interact with the door. So, it means what I would need to do is actually have a counter of that. And then I need to reduce the counter. And if it's 0, then I can't interact at all. If I do that, I might have a solution that works with everything. It actually fixes the problem for every single type of interaction, which makes more sense because then I can stack things next to each other. Otherwise, we will have an issue. Because now it's always finishing the state, saying, oh, you can't do that. So I need a counter for every interaction type. Okay. This is annoying, but yeah, I think I don't have a choice. var counters, which is a dictionary of interaction type int. The hide 0. We want the same, but this time for instead of having hide, we want the door, and here instead of having died, we want the switch, whatever. So now, is interaction impossible? What we want to do is we want to do counters dot. Oh yeah, maybe you should do it like that. Type plus, so minus 1. And now, if counters type 0, then we finish. And otherwise, every time we do something here, we increase the counter. So here we increase the counter. Like that. Would that work? Probably not. I need to be sure that it always goes back to 0. So I also need... Okay. I need here, so... If you're under 0, then the counter's type should be 0, and then we finish now. Whatever. Just so everything is okay. So I cover my bases with that, which also means that I can open, and then I can open, and then I can open, and then I can open, and I don't need to work with that. It always works, and now I can't. Is it? Easy. It fixes the problem. It's good, no, but it's not bad as well, so I take that. But it will be 10,000 interaction type. It's not really the greatest way of doing that, but it works. So I take that. So we have interaction states, we have that. I don't want that though. Sure, I don't know why, but sure. Okay, and now that fixes this problem, which is great. But how do we fix the problem of the occlusion? Because how should I put that? What? Okay. Because how should I put that? If you go there, see, I can see through this wall. That should not happen, by the way. Oh yeah, also it should be considered an obstacle. Oh. I have to tell that it's an obstacle. Because it's a dynamic obstacle. Yeah. I will need also to do that, because otherwise... Yeah, because otherwise the cat is trying to go there when you can't. He should know it's not possible. Can I? No, I don't want to redraw. No, but what I can do though is that if all the doors are closed. Oh yeah, but no. Okay. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Bake navigation polygon. Yeah. So now I have a navigation polygon that is baked. But I don't have I don't have the cat passages. Okay, how do I do that? When I do the cat passages, I know I do something. Because I create on the tile something that says, hey, you can go there. So I need also that. That's gonna be fun. So it's not interactable, so it's level, I suppose, cat passages and capacity.jd. Okay. First says, second says. What the fuck? We need to set the same number of link with the first and the second. Okay. Oh yeah. Create passages. And so I create the passages. What? So I create a passage, a navigation link to the. Sorry, just tell you it's a link. Link navigation layers, layers 2D navigation. Layers 2D navigation, a bit field determining what navigation area to the link belongs to. Its navigation layers will be checked when requesting a path. Oh yeah, that's why. So this is why, but now everyone can connect to that. Closest link, find closest to post, which is that. Global first position, global second post. Sets, first area, second area. So I create also the area with that. And then I have the single function, and then, oh yeah, because I need to, yeah, because I try to find the position between two. But then what I can do is just have both areas creating the link between the two positions. Because you just find the closest post here. Local post, closest link, yeah. Which is a position, because find closest post is that. And set global start position, set global end position. So I just create a link so I can do that, because it needs to be done for this type of doors. So that's something you need to consider. This is what I wanted to do. But then I need to also remove the link when the door is closed. I need to generate the link the door is open. So I need to know that by default. So I need to do that. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Create detection areas, so we have that. I'd like to have func create link between create link through door. I think that's important. Create link through door, and we want another function which is destroy link through door. So we destroy it, there is a link. We still want the local post of the door, which is a vector to I. And so local post vector to I is easy. So we create the link, and then we need just a function, which is add navigation or toggle navigation link. Toggle navigation link using the local post vector to I. So we want the orientation. We also want if it's opened or not. That's also really important, because then we need actually to define that, because yes, of course we have that. So we want that. So create link through door, because the open is useful, but yeah, link through door. So we will get back the orientation here as well. I know function to navigation equals no static return type, so it does nothing. Okay, void and same. It does nothing. This one here. Okay. And now I know it doesn't work because I'm just variable, blah, 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 I know. So now I need to get the neighbors with the rotation, so that's one thing. So var neighbors equals get neighbors with orientation, and I'm glad I did that because then I need the local posts and I will need the orientation. So that's pretty simple. I'm really happy about that because I can actually use that now. I can actually create that. So now I need to create a link. So we want to create a link. And then we want to, oh yeah, but we need to find the link and destroy it again. So, I need to save these links because then I need to destroy them or add them to the position of the door. So we need a new variable, var links, which is a dictionary of vector to I, navigation link to D. And so for the moment it's empty. So we create a new navigation link to D. And then we need set global start, set global end. So link set global start position, and here it will be just to global map to local. Okay, so to global map to local of my link being neighbor is 0 and same neighbors 1. So this is how you create a link. So create link through door, and I would like post 1. So local post 1, which is a vector to I, and local post 2. Oh yeah. Yeah, you know what? I don't need that actually. Google navigation link, and then create with a bool. I'm gonna use the create here. So, or maybe not even, we don't need that because we know if it needs to be created or not. So, if not opened, then we create a new link that we add to the links of local. So maybe set local post link here. They're pretty easy. And then if we want to destroy it, which is pretty easy, so here we want the neighbors here, I guess, just so we do it usefully, so it makes sense, you know. Because if it's not open, then we don't need those, like, at all. So let's not just create. Hi, what is this? Think it was those. Oh no, I'm actually working on Godot. I'm not playing. I'm doing game development. I didn't think you would thought it was that. Also, please don't do the caps lock. It's not pretty pleasant to read. But yeah, hi. What was that? Yeah. So then we create the links, and otherwise we want to clear, not clear, we want to erase, right? Erase the key, which is the local post. Perfect. But before we do that, we want to get the link. So we want to get the link, which is on the local post. So that's my link. var link get. Yeah, I mean, it's not like I use the fucking type int, but whatever. So link, which is a navigation link to D, sorry. Navigation link to D, and we want to remove it. Can I remove a child like that? Can I do remove child? directly. Remove child. Remove child problem not found on with children are not deleted. Delete the notes to Q3. Oh, okay. I see. So I just pass the node directly. Okay. Link easy. Then I can just do Q3 for the link. Yeah. After I'm done with that, otherwise there's gonna be an issue. And so we want to add child here, which is the link. Okay. Sure. Makes sense to me. Okay. Cool. So now we have that. And now we want to do the token navigation link. Depending on what you're doing. And this is really important because now, whatever we do, we would like to toggle the navigation link as well. Toggle navigation link for the door local boss. Just to be sure. Hopefully, it doesn't cost too much in terms of preferences, because I'm gonna free a lot of shit. I mean, nah, it's free. It's like, oh, one. No way. Ain't no way. Okay. And so, up. Oh, because I Q3'd the fucking door. Oh, my bad. I Q3'd the fucking door. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Jesus fucking. Can you go? Can you understand? You should understand that you can go through that, right? Are you not? You're an idiot. Can I show the debug the visible navigation? Yeah, can I do that? Geez, they're not really visible. Can I? Maybe I need to restart. Oh, sure. Yep, they're definitely not visible. So maybe they're not created. Oh. That might be why. It's just if it opens, we don't toggle, which is defined, yeah. Okay. Oh wow. Q3 on a new value. Yeah. Because there is no link. So if you opened... Oh yeah, no. That was exactly what I wanted to do. If you're not open, I create you and I add you. Otherwise I just... yeah. Sure. Makes more sense. Okay. But still, no... that is nice. That is nice. Still no navigation link. You can see those, right? Like, okay, I'm gonna try just to put one so I see if it exists. It's already nice if you have the info. I want a navigation link to D. Navigation link to D. Yeah. Enabled bidirectional, so... something like that. Can you see? That would be interesting to know. Can you see the link? Ah, you can see the link, so you know you can go there. You know you can go there, but you can't go in. That's interesting. Because you shouldn't... okay. What does navigation link does? By the way, navigation link to D. A link between two position navigation regions. Navigations can be routed through. This position can be on the same navigation region or two different ones. Links are useful to express navigation methods of not traveling along the surface of the navigation polygons, such as zip lines, teleporters, or gaps that can be jumped across. Okay, this is exactly what I want to do. So get global end position, get global. Okay, set global end position, global start position that we have. We're happy with that. Set navigation map. Do I fucking need to define a navigation map? Ah, that's maybe why. Set navigation map. Set the array of the navigation map distinct should use. By default, the link will automatically join the World 2D default navigation maps, and this function is only required to avoid the default map. I assume that also component of 2D such as canvas and physics space. Yeah. But then you actually need to know the fucking, yeah, the real navigation map. Oh, this is a problem. So, you know what? We're gonna do an export. And navigation map. Navigation map. Export var navigation map, I think. Pretty simple. And it's supposed to be a navigation map. Is that the name? What's the name for that? What is the type of that? Change the type. Navigation region. Yeah, navigation region. So navigation region 2D. So navigation. Can you get the ID for that? Navigation region. Yeah, like that. Navigation region 2D. Get a ID. Okay, perfect. So we need an assert first. The navigation map to navigation region to use for creating link or creating or destroying links between two doors, between a door to a door, because then it doesn't work. So now we're gonna navigation link. We want to create link set navigation map, and so navigation region get RID. Perfect. We want an assert though, because we're not fools. Not yet. Assert. Navigation region you must give the navigation region for the doors layer to work. I can do that, or I can also just define that it's always in the navigation region, and I can simplify that by not doing it exporting. I think it's better. Can I just get like, I should get the parent. I think, yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. How do I do it again in the monster state? Because I think I do it that. Oh, wait on already. Yeah. So await on already, and so as navigation region 2D, which is navigation region, and so I need to change that and say this is couldn't find the navigation region. Is this? Oh, it's not gonna be in the owner. Is this or is layer in a child of a navigation region 2D. And so we can do that, but it should not be used as owner. What should be is you need to find parents. Is there a way to find a parent? Not find parents, perfect. Find parent. This name returning to match is not found. Oh. Fuck. Because it's find name, not using the type. Yeah, that's gonna be an export. That's gonna be an export. I don't want to do the guess game. I'm gonna just put the fucking export, it's fine. The provided navigation region 2D is not valid. Easy. That's gonna be simpler. I don't have time for that shit, so yeah. Oh. And it crashes. Or maybe not. I might crash, actually, yeah. Took you long enough. But sure. Took you long enough. Okay. Perfect. Navigation link that I can delete, by the way. Because I can tell you can see them. And they don't get created. Why? Seriously, why? If you're not open, then we don't... No, okay. If you're not open, then we destroy the link. If there is a link. Otherwise, we create it because you're opened. That's my fault. The logic was not sound. And you're not creating the fucking link. You're supposed to be open. You're supposed to be able to go through. Why? What does erase do? Oh yeah. I know why you're not being nice with me. It's because you had the thing break, so yeah. What does erase do? Remove the dictionary entry by key if it exists, return true if the given parameter existed in the dictionary, otherwise false. Do not erase entries with iterating with the dictionary, you can iterate with the keys that erase the tape. Okay. Whatever. Whatever. So, up to local neighbors. Okay. So this is how I did that. So, okay. Oh! Yeah! That explains why. Yeah, there is no fucking link. It's just a fucking point, so yeah. Oh, but you still can't go through. So the link is created, that's perfect, it actually works great, but then it doesn't understand that you can go through. Why? Why? Do I need to define the link as usable for you as well? Nah, that would be silly. Or is it though? I want to see the scene. Character navigation agent, what are you? Pathfinding 3 changes. You're on the navigation layer 2. So I would need 3. Oh, this is why it doesn't work. Yep. It needs to be a bit. Export flags, layers to the navigation. So bit filter navigation the links belong to. So I need to do that as well. And so we want 3 for the moment. Hence why I need to do it. So you can actually use it, because it might just be 1 by default, which doesn't work. Sure. Okay. That might help now. Surely. Okay, let's see. I have a link. Ah, you still not... You still don't want to go there. That's interesting. I tell you that there is a link you should be able to go through. You should be able to go through, that's for sure. Normally, you should be able to go through the link. So if I open you have a character navigation agent, right? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And so in pathfinding, you have navigation layers 1, so you're able to find it. But then... maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Navigation link. I don't see anything else. Using navigation links. Navigation links are to connect navigation mesh polygon from navigation regions 2D and navigation region 3D over arbitrary distance for pathfinding. Navigation links are also used to consider movement shortcuts in pathfinding available through interacting with gameplay objects, ladder, jump pad, or teleports. 2 and 3D version of navigation jump links nodes are available. Okay. Different navigation regions can connect their navigation meshes without the need for a navigation link as long as they have overlapping edges or edge they are within the edge connection margin. Okay. Using navigation region to... okay. Share many points between navigation region and navigation layers. Navigation links add a single connection between 2 positions. And position can go in both directions when bidirectional is enabled. When placed navigation links select the navigation mesh closest to its top position and position within the search radius of pathfinding. The polygon search radius can be configured to globally set project. Yeah. Default link connection radius. Okay, so we can do that. Okay, so I can do that by default using the navigation server to the link create. Using the server. Okay. I can do it like that. And about the link, insert a different navigation map. Get world to the get navigation map. Okay, because you do that, but now in my case I add it as a child, not in the navigation server. Navigation layers, link bidirectional, true. So it could be something like that that I can do, but then I still need to know the link, and then I still need to be able to remove that link. So, I mean, that would be simpler though. Godot again. Navigation server. Navigation server 2D. Okay. So can I remove a link? Oh, but I can enable those. I can create the link for everything and then enable or disable them, so I don't need to remove them. That's cool. I can do that. So then my logic is better, because I can just get the link using its position on the door and just give the ID. So an ID. That's perfect. That's perfect, actually. Because toggle navigation link is easy. So then I need create navigation link. And then the logic is easier for me. Local post vector to I void. So we want the orientation, the neighbor, and we don't care if it's open or not. We want both, so that's for sure. That's the two thing. Then we want the ID, so let's just use that logic that we have here. Okay, set owner ID, so we can actually define the owner if you want to. That's cool. So toggle, so we want that. Var leaker ID, which is navigation server to the create. Yes, I know it's supposed to be. And link owner ID gate instance ID. Link navigation layers, we have that, and link bidirectional is always true, so we don't need to do that. We need to set that up for the creation. What we want to know though, if it's open, then it's on, otherwise it's not, so we can actually use the open as well. That's going to be useful. That's going to be, so hold on up. Perfect. So linker ID, link enter cost, so we don't care. Travel cost, we don't care. Navigation layers, we need the layers to the navigation, and link bidirectional will always sure, because of course it is. So now linker ID, link on ID, all of that is okay. Set enabled. So which is just gonna be that. The navigation link. Then I need to define which we use the neighbors. So the start position, which will be to global map local of neighbors and same. Okay. So I don't need to open this one. Okay. And so I want to get the ID. So I can do var linker ID, which is an ID of links the local boss, and if linker ID up. Then we can just get that, so we can toggle it, and that's it, and everything has been set. And we have, yeah, just here I need to increase that by 1, otherwise that would be an issue. And so we will want to create navigation link up to go for the song. And so toggle navigation link. So now easy, pretty easy, right? OMG, this works. Oh, if I open now, you know that you can go there, and if I do that, you can do that. And know what happens? Okay, if I do that, okay, and then you would try to come in. Okay, so it adds more complexity to some stuff that I'm making, but the doors work quite remarkably, I would say. Which makes me want to actually fix the cat passages to work differently. But yeah, because the way I do the link is weird. Yeah, because here it's just a bit complicated, but yeah, I'm gonna do that later. But this is cool. This is cool. We have something that works. It actually works. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, I like that. And it's actually able to find that. So, okay. Cool. Cool. I don't need these two. So now, if I go there, let's say I'm here, I can open the door. So yeah, it's a bit wide, but I don't mind. I don't think it's an issue. I wonder if the collision shape it actually works quite well. Oh wow. You get that better. Okay, that was weird, but I think it's because of that. Yeah. Oh, come on, that's cool. Like, it works. My doors actually functions. Oh. Yeah. My doors actually function. It's still weird. Okay, it's not perfect, but it still works. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. I like that. Okay. Add possibility to use navigation link. Oh, maybe I should actually have a navigation obstacle then. Just generate it, like, or by default being like a navigation occluder. That could be something I could do. Doors, yeah. I would have to think about that at a later date. Or maybe all the doors are closed and that's easier for me. That's also a possibility, but yeah. Doors. Add support for navigation to the doors. Perfect. Works. What a fucking nightmare, but it works. Okay. I like what I did. I like what I did. Honestly. It's good. Also, I really need to change how the chat looks like because it's like stock Streamlabs and it just doesn't look good. But yeah. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll see you on Friday. We will do the inventory system this time. So yeah, tune in for that. See you on Friday. Have a fantastic evening, people. Bye.